Welcome to Focus on Crestview. I'm your host, Alicia Booker. I am the chairman of the Crestview Chamber of Commerce as well as the marketing director for North Okaloosa Medical Center. And with me today is our guest, Ms. Meg Lawhon. And Meg, you are our breakfast sponsor this month with Crescent Park Village. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
So I wanted to dive right in and just see if we can find out what the difference is between assisted living and a skilled nursing facility, because I know a lot of times people get a little bit confused. So if you can tell us a little bit about Crescent Park and kind of what the difference is.
Yes, very big misconception in our community. Skilled nursing is a medical facility, and Crescent Park Village is an assisted living. And we're not a medical facility. We are there to provide assistance to our residents, and we provide assistance with ADLs, medication management, and ADLs are activities of daily living such as bathing, dressing, grooming, and we help with our medications. We are a home at Crescent Park Village. Those are our residents' homes, and we just help them live. We provide activities, we provide prepared meals 3 times a day. We provide outings and really the assistance that the family would provide and can't because they're working or other obligations. We stand in the gap for that.
And that's very good. So it would be very similar to if you see mom or dad just can't do the same things they used to be able to do while they're living, alone at home, or if you see a spouse is not able to continue to do some of the things that they used to do, but they're not ready for a skilled facility, then that would be when they would check in and look at assisted living.
Just if they just needed some assistance, because our regulations that they have to be able to help themselves to some limit, but we can provide assistance. So if you see someone that's struggling to change their clothes or take a bath or manage their toiletry needs, things like that, or maybe a person that's living at home that just can't prepare their meals, those are the people that we seek out to serve.
Now, you mentioned it's a home, for them. And so what are some of the things that you do to ensure that it feels like home for them?
Well, our facility is set up like a home. We have like living room areas, sitting areas, a large dining room, but our residents have their private rooms that they go to. If they want privacy, that is available to them, but they can come out and get the very important socialization. But we just remind them about doctor's appointments, make doctor's appointments for them. If they need assistance getting to the doctor's office, we do that. It just kind of varies by each resident what their needs are. But our facility is like a large home that just has lots of bedrooms.
And so you mentioned, they have their own private rooms. Are they able to bring some of their own furnishings and things like that to make it feel?
Our rooms are empty. They bring their own furniture. And we find that the residents, when they are sleeping in their own bed and maybe see that familiar comforter or they sitting in their own recliner and have their own belongings hanging on the wall, then it's an easier transition for them and they feel like it's their home.
And that's so important, is the transition period, because that's a big change.
Yes.
And you mentioned, as the breakfast sponsor, about some of the meals and mealtime and having a family style meal and explain a little bit about that.
Well, our breakfast is served so that our residents don't have a set time that they have to get up each morning, because we're all very there. But our breakfast is served between 7 and 9, and the residents come out and they can order their breakfast, and it's prepared when they order it. But our lunch and our dinner is served at 12 and 5 o'clock, and we bring the food out to the tables in bowls like you would at your own home. And they pass the bowls around, and if they want some, they're welcome to it. If they don't have to eat it. And if they want more, we always have extra.
And that's good, because I said I've visited the facility a few times, and every time I walk in, it always smells like either baked cookies or something cooking in the kitchen, and that gives that a home feel as well.
We have the best Southern cooks in Crestview, I know.
And during this time, it's also very important for the residents to stay active. So what are some of the things that you do to help promote activity?
Yes. Well, we have a walking program where to keep them physically active and the residents. We're on teams, and we have a destination that we walk to, and kind of just keep our interest up, and in the process keeping everybody active. We go out twice a month to an area restaurant so that they can be out in the community. We also have shopping trips, and then we have in-house activities. Some of our community partners come in and play games with the residents, do crafts with the residents, and we just do what they want to do, and we just want to keep them active and socializing with each other.
I know our senior circle members at North Okaloosa enjoy going over and playing bingo and,
Yes.
and calling bingo for them, and that's just, again, to show community partnership for having the residents, and there's a need on both sides
Yes.
for the activities. And
We are
that's very
so
good.
blessed to have a good relationship with our community partners.
And that's like you said, so important
Yes.
to have that as a resource. And you talked a little bit about staff. How important is staff to the day-to-day activities that go on at Crescent Park?
Well, I think our staff is the most important aspect of our customer service. Our staff members are local people, and so many of them have been there 10 years and plus, and they know these residents, but they provide just an excellent service and truly care what the residents want, because we strive to provide patient-centered care so that we establish what each resident needs, and we change what we do to meet their needs. And just that the staff just loves them and cares and goes above and beyond every day. So I think our staff is the key to the success of Crescent Park.
And it's always good to make it feel like it's extended family
Yes.
there.
Well, our residents, they worry about us, they know about our families, they pray for our loved ones when they're sick. We are a family there.
And that's very comforting for family members who are entrusting or placing their
Yes.
loved ones with you there at Crescent Park.
Yes.
And you mentioned you're not a skilled nursing facility, but if there is a need, home health or
Home
hospice?
health comes in, and also hospices come in. And a lot of the medical equipment companies in Crestview, they bring in equipment for our residents, and they educate our residents on how to train them. Because once again, we can't provide medical care, but we can assist. So if the resident has some medical equipment and they need assistance, we can do that, but we can't perform it for them. But home healths are very, very good to come and educate the staff and the residents in whatever needs they have.
And for Crescent Park, how, if I'm interested in having, say, my loved one come, how is that covered?
It's private pay. Some people have long-term care insurance, and it pays for the monthly rent, but it's private pay, and then the insurance company reimburses.
And at a particular time, is there a coordination where if you see that, say, a resident is not doing as well and they're aging and there might be time for transition, is that something you discuss with the family?
Yes, we bring the family in and we discuss, and we try to notice those things well in advance, because it's not something you can go and do in a day and get a skilled nursing bed. So we talk and educate the families as we see changes and start preparing the resident and the family members. And we assist them with getting all the required paperwork and the required information that's needed to transfer to a skilled nursing. And we follow them once they're there. We don't want them to feel that once they leave Crescent Park Village, they're forgotten by us. We are there to assist in that transition too.
Very good. Well, in our last few minutes, I want to give you the opportunity to talk about, where to call, who to call if you're interested, and also about availability for residents.
Well, we're very blessed right now. We have no availability. All of our rooms are filled, but you never know. Things change on a daily basis. But if anyone is interested, please call 683-3997 and speak to myself or Erica Hallford. She is the assistant administrator, and we could provide a tour and let you see our building. And we have a waiting list going. And if you're interested or think that your loved one might need this in the near future, we could place your loved one on our waiting list, and when we get an opening, we will call. And if that resident is not, or that individual is not ready when we call, we can skip by that one and go to the next person on the waiting list. And when the next availability comes, we're going to start back at that list. And we can keep doing that for forever till the resident, we have an opening at the timing that they need it. So
Very good.
Yes.
Well, Meg, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us and sponsoring the breakfast.
It was our pleasure.
Thank you. And please stay with us. We will be back shortly with some spring tips, so don't go anywhere.
It's time for the Cox Charity Auction to benefit Covenant Hospice, and that means it's your chance to bid for a good cause. This year, bid online for vacation packages, artwork, jewelry, gift certificates to local restaurants and retailers, and much, much more. The auction runs April 11th through May 9th with new items each week. You can support Covenant Hospice while getting fabulous items for pennies on the dollar. Bid anywhere at any time, online at www.coxcharityauction.com. Log on and bid today.
Our commitment to the community is something that we believe in and act on every single day. It's a key part of our culture and who we are as a company.
Cox donates millions of dollars in cash and in-kind services to support local nonprofit and civic organizations each year. We recognize that a healthy community is a growing community. Here's a look at just a few of the organizations we support right here in Northwest Florida.
We're extremely proud of all these local partnerships.
Together, we are working to make the Gulf Coast thrive.
Welcome back to Focus on Crestview. I'm Marion McBride, the General Manager of Okaloosa Title and Abstract in Crestview and the Vice Chair for the Crestview Chamber. We want to say thank you again. You just saw Alicia talk with our breakfast sponsor for April, and we want to say thank you again to them. And today I'm very excited because spring has sprung, and I have brought with us today Pete Elkins from the Ace Consolidated Hardware in Crestview, Florida. So welcome, Pete.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You ready?
I'm
You ready
ready
for spring?
I am ready for
Good.
spring.
So tell us all what's happening at Ace Hardware for the springtime.
Well, we're ready for spring. All with the sun coming out. Start prepping your soil and stuff for the ground. Putting some fertilizer on the ground. We have your seeds that goes in the ground for your gardens.
I know I was at your store and you have everything in this store, and I think you have a little something there behind
We
you.
actually have several flowers and stuff hanging in our garden center. We have some hanging baskets. We have bonnie plants out there also for your flower bed all the way up to your garden, planting corn, potatoes, everything else you need.
And
this
you have a
time of
whole
year.
section there for the vegetables too, don't you? All the seeds and everything for that,
We
right?
do.
Very good. What about the spring sprucing up? You know, spring cleaning, we're all thinking about, you know, picking up a little around the house. What do you have there for us?
Well, this year we've taken on Valspar has now purchased Ace paint. So Valspar and Ace has gone together. We carry now Optimus paint there.
Optimist, like an optimist?
Like Optimus Prime kind of
Okay,
deal.
all right. Okay.
It's actually a pretty awesome paint. You can the flat paint you can put on the wall, and put it in any color you'd like, and you can actually treat it like a chalkboard.
And you have all of the supplies to go
Everything
painting
you
with.
need
So,
from-
and plus you have all the cleaning supplies.
Cleaning whatever you need, from cleaning the outside of your house to getting the rust, the mold from the wintertime, everything you need to get cleaned up and ready
So
to be
spring cleaning
spruced
should
up.
be no problem,
Not this-
right? In fact, your assistant manager, and his name is
John Gorman.
John Gorman. Well, Mr. John told me, he said, y'all had everything in that store except milk.
That's pretty much
So
Takes
we have
care of it.
decided here that you're gonna start selling milk, because it'll be a one-stop shop now. But really, that store is awesome. Okay, well, what about the Memorial Day? You know, that's coming up, and you have a lot of stuff out there. I saw awnings and gliders, and you got grills and
we have grills. We have all your grilling supplies, from smoking chips to pretty much anything you want
Anything.
to put on the grill except for the food and the milk.
no milk, no food.
No milk.
And you sell the tanks to go?
We sell propane outside, fill the propanes for your RVs. You're getting ready to go camping and stuff. You can come by, fill up your RV. We'll take care of all that for you.
How large a tank? I mean, what's the largest?
We can fill from the smallest 2.5 gallon all the way up to the biggest
So
thing.
you're
the
actually
RV
filling it there?
We actually fill it
Do
there.
you sell the
We-
little ones, like if you want to have a little camp
I
stove?
sell those also. We have exchange if you want to do exchange.
Oh, okay.
We have Blue Rhino out front to do exchange.
That's cool. You know, and after all this hard work, we have to go what? Because you are a huge bass fisherman, right?
I am.
You got some beautiful fish up there that are mounted, but you also have something there that fascinated me. And what are those little guys?
They're called crickets. We have live crickets. We have, your wigglers, your night crawlers, red worms, mealworms. But the crickets are, it stops right there at the door. A lot of the kids come in and it's, they're just amazed at how they stay in the box.
And how do they stay in the box?
Well, actually, every morning you have to get up and you got to talk to them.
Oh, okay.
You have to be a cricket whisperer like I am.
Oh, I know. They told me that you were the cricket whisperer there. But is there some
Actually, there's a white tape that goes around the top
Is that
is
it?
real slippery. And when they jump, they can't jump up. They jump out, and the gravity just pulls them back down.
So they don't go this way?
No.
Ever?
Well, when you think of, you're on the side of a box, so they can't.
Okay. Well, they're a lot of fun.
We sell about 20 to 25,000 a week.
That is unbelievable. And they come in little tubes, right?
We sell them by the tube. We sell them.
And so when you fill the
full
tube up, how many crickets are in there?
Anywhere from 35 to 50 a half, and anywhere from 85 to 100 for a full tube.
Wow.
So,
Well, let's talk about Consolidated Ace Hardware as a whole. You have there are more than one store under Consolidated, right?
There
Tell
is.
me about that a little bit.
we have 5 stores right now. Well, currently we just bought the Destin store,
Okay.
so we now have 6 stores.
And
Excuse
they're
me.
located where?
We have one in Defuniak Springs, Crestview, Florida, Navarre, Ozark, Dothan, and now in Destin.
In Destin. And they all have that same name,
All
but it's the Crestview,
consolidation.
and each one has its own store manager, right?
Each one of us.
But y'all, the Crestview store got a special award here last.
We did.
Last year.
I'm real proud of my team. Without my team, I wouldn't be able to do it. They've got the Platinum Award there. That is the top 25% of stores in the United States only get this award right here.
That is amazing. And there y'all are. And there's that beautiful glider that y'all had out there.
Yes, we
It's
had
really nice.
We get this gentleman from a gentleman out of Jasper, Florida. A gentleman out of Jasper, Florida.
What do you have to do to earn that award?
Well, there's several things from ACE Awards, not having, they go through your store and they check from cleanliness to your outs in the store, as far as making sure that your customer service is right. We have a secret shopper that comes in and grades us. Every 3 months to 4 months we get a secret shopper, and our store average grade for the year was a 98.9.
Wow,
So-
that's amazing. That is really an honor. And I think you have something coming up in your store. You always having things at your store, but this Saturday.
Well, this
you have
Saturday
what?
we have the Cowgirl Chicks from Baker, Florida. We really try to get involved with the community
I
and,
know you
and
do.
help from the cheerleaders at the high school is going to be there this weekend doing a car wash. The Cowgirl Chicks are coming also from 12 to 2. We're going to have a special sale that's going to be on during that 12 to 2. They'll check out our Facebook page at that time and we'll sell exactly what that sale is going to be.
Okay, so on Facebook, go to your Facebook
Go to
page, and they're going to
Facebook.
show your Facebook address. So go there and look at all that information there.
Right.
That is wonderful. What about the ACE Rewards? You had mentioned something to me yesterday about that, about ACE Rewards.
A lot of your stores do military discounts and stuff like that. We tie our ACE Rewards all to the discount. We also do your first responders. We think it's very important that not only of our militaries out there, as our first responders are out there
Absolutely.
putting their lives on the line, that we want to take care of them too. So when they come through the door, they sign up for an ACE Award. It's easier for us to track it and take care. We're a little different on the percentage-wise what
Right.
we give. We may give 10% on this and 20% on this.
Right.
It depends on what the product and how much margin is in that product.
That is wonderful.
So.
Well, Pete, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being such a great member of the Crestview community and a great chamber member. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all.
Please stay with us. Alicia and I will be back in just a moment, and we'll tell you about all the upcoming events with the Crestview Chamber. Thank you for listening.
It's time for some cruising, showing, and partying at the 5th annual Burning Up the Beaches in Okaloosa County. This classic car show event will take place from April 30th through May 3rd in Destin and Fort Walton Beach, with several events each night. If you're looking for a fun, relaxing weekend on the beach to meet other gearheads, this is it. Proceeds from the events benefit Horizons of Okaloosa County. Log on to burningupthebeaches.com or call 376-1037 for more information or tickets.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to Focus on Crestview. We had a wonderful discussion with our breakfast sponsor, Crescent Park Village, and we got some wonderful tips from Ace Hardware on what to do for spring and how to be ready.
And I forgot something to bring up while he was on, Alicia. They do pet adoptions at that store. And if they'll go to their to their Facebook page, they'll find out about it. When they do it, they have animals, dogs and cats. I don't know what all he adopts.
Well,
but
that's
he's
always
very
good.
Community involved.
Okay,
Very
so
community
Facebook
involved.
page to find out all the
Right.
community-related activities for Ace Hardware.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, we have a lot of things going on for the chamber as well. One of the biggest things that we had was the Triple B. We just finished up.
Absolutely.
And we had at least, around 15,000 people all packed down Main Street and enjoying barbecue and vendors and all kinds of wonderful
what a
things.
beautiful day it was.
Perfect weather.
Couldn't have been better. Just absolutely. And
Perfect.
dogs and cats and babies. And
There are so
just-
many babies at the
I know
barbecue.
it. I saw
The B
3.
stands for babies and barbecue now.
We'll change that. We'll work on that for next year. How about that?
That was good. But
That's a good idea, Alicia.
It really is. We'll write that down. But
I
we
want
did
to talk about the bands.
The bands were wonderful.
Yeah. I
We
don't know
had a
whether-
lot of new bands this year. The chamber staff did an excellent job of getting the all of the bands lined up, and it was just an eclectic sound, if you will. So it wasn't just the bluegrass. We had all types of music there, and it was just, you saw, usually the music was kind of the background noise,
Right,
if you
but
will.
not this
but
year.
Not
they
this
were
year.
up there in chairs. up
People
there
were
by the-
dancing.
Yeah, but let's give a good shout out to Jennifer.
Yes.
Jennifer Pearson, our executive assistant at the chamber. She was really instrumental in getting those bands.
Yes,
And there's
absolutely.
a flyer, I think, that'll be showing while we're talking here with all
Sure.
the bands' names. And a thank you to them and all of our sponsors.
Absolutely, with the sponsors, because without sponsors, we cannot do the events to the magnitude that we do each year. And so a special thank you to this year's sponsor and all of the volunteers that go into working and making this very possible.
The ones of us who get out there at 6:30 in the morning,
Yes.
and the sun, actually it's really nice because it's quiet on the Crestview Main Street.
Yes.
The sun is coming up, and coffee's, you smell that coffee, you smell barbecue that's cooking
Yes.
all night. So there are a lot of people, young and old, that help us. We couldn't do without them.
If they miss the events this year, they can stay tuned, because we'll be gearing up in a few months to give everyone an opportunity to be a part of next year's
Next year.
event, and it's going to be really big.
It'll be our 12th? This was the
12th
11th?
annual, and
12th.
it'll be 100 years celebrating Crestview.
know,
So
I'm so
a lot of good
excited.
things happening then.
Absolutely.
We also have several new members this month.
Yeah, we have 15 new members, and all of the names are up on a flyer as we're talking here, and it is just wonderful that we have all these new neighbors, and we want to thank them all for joining the chamber. Gosh, we couldn't do it without our members, could we?
No, we could not, and
We just
you
could
know,
not do it.
the members working together, it's more of a family, and they say it's a little bit beyond just networking. It's
yeah.
assisting one another, and if you're interested in being a chamber member, you can contact the Crestview Chamber office on the webpage, or you can call the office, and they would be happy to assist you with that.
And every member brings a little different spice to our chamber. We're all different people, and each member brings something special to us, and we really, really like it. Let's talk about our spotlight. Talk about members. Let's talk about our spotlight.
Our member
members.
spotlight, yes.
And the last two that we drew were Okaloosa County 4-H Association and Misty Smith.
Yes.
And Essentia Insurance,
Yes,
if I
Essentia.
did might get that out, Teresa Carroll. So they've been spotlighted all month long at
Yes.
the breakfasts, here, there, and in the paper. So we have drawn two more, but I'm not going to say who they are yet.
We'll have to wait
Well,
and
that'll
see.
be a surprise. How about that?
After hours
After
that we
hours,
recently
yeah.
had. Yes, we did have an after hours with Joe Falk at Edward
And
Jones.
what did you do, Miss Alicia
Well,
Booker?
hopefully it wasn't caught on camera, but we were. It was part of the March Madness fundraiser that he sponsored for the Crestview High School basketball team.
Oh, good.
And so it was a game of shooting, and there were a few of us out there who were in heels and had just come from work, but participated anyway.
But you shot a basket.
I did. It actually went in
With your heels
With
and
the
your
heels
dress
and
and
dress
the whole
and all.
kit and caboodle.
Yes, so
That's awesome.
But it was a great event that raised money for a very good cause.
Absolutely,
And we have
for
another
sure.
after hours that's coming up.
Yes,
that
we
we'll
do.
want to attend
and
as
that
well.
will be from Matthews and Jones, some of
Yes.
our new attorneys in Crestview.
Very good.
And they're becoming very active with our chamber, which we appreciate. We thank them for hosting that. And our ribbon cuttings, we've got more ribbon cuttings coming forward. We're going to have one at this Center for the Aviation toward the end of the month. So invite everybody to come out. It's not just for chamber members. Anybody can come.
Yes.
Because it's always such a good way to get to know everyone.
And find out what it is that they have to offer within the
Right.
community. And it was great to have the ribbon cutting for the new animal hospital there.
I
It was a
know.
great facility and wonderful to visit and see. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just a really, really nice area there for them. And they had the little kennel area in the
Kennels.
back for them to be able to run and do all sorts of things. So
and
it's a
that's
great.
such an important thing for our families in Crestview, because there's a lot of people who travel, particularly our military, not just military, but all of us travel. We want a nice, safe place to put our puppies
Yes.
and our kitties. I don't have kitties, I have 2 dogs, so very partial to dogs. But we have a lot of things going on.
And the last thing, though, that
No.
we need to mention, though, we have one more really big event that's coming up here shortly, and that's the golf tournament.
Golf tournament at Blackstone, May 30th. Mr. Chris Daggs is our chairman at Hub City Ford.
Yes.
He always does a great job, and our staff gets right in there behind him. I cannot wait, and I'm sure I will be golfing, dressed up in some kind of strange costume, and it's red, white, and blue again, because
Very
it's
good.
Memorial Day weekend. We're going to get you out there. Dawn Mann and I have a special little hairdo that we're going to show you.
All right.
And yours would look good.
Well, we have lots of exciting things coming up, and we want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Focus on Crestview.